Hello and welcome back to Football Pundits podcast for our weekly updates and our lively discussions about all things football. Before we move forward, I would like to remind everyone to please like, share, and subscribe to our videos, and remember to follow us on our social media handles, which are mentioned on the top of the screen. So, before moving forward, I would like to introduce everyone to our panelists once again. Two fairly happy United fans for today, Rishabh Grover and Kshitij Rastogi, and then Liverpool fan who's not so happy, I guess, but might be happy with the draw, I guess. But Siddharth and a Chelsea fan who might also be a little bit unhappy, I guess, but happy with the win which we have been able to take from courtesy Mason Mount. So yeah, that's Anshuman for you. So
Courtesy Ariola. Courtesy was Ariola, not Mason Mount.
okay. So yeah, let's move and dive deep into the big question of Liverpool versus United. Let's take the first thoughts from our Liverpool fan. What did you think of the game?
Disappointing result for us in the end. I think every United fan will be happy with the draw, and it was a good game. We dominated, but in the end, we'll be disappointed with the draw. And
so yeah, I mean, in our previous podcast when we were making our predictions, Rishabh actually said that if United win the Burnley game, they'll definitely be going for a draw, which I think was the case which they went for.
yeah,
Do you
spot on,
I don't think they went for a draw from the game. From what it looked like, United were the stronger force to win that game, at least. From the 90 minutes that we saw, it never looked like Liverpool was going to win the game. Never looked like.
But they dominated throughout the game. Like first half, they dominated.
Domination was always on the cards. I told you guys in the Liverpool versus Spurs game also, it was always on the cards. You come to Anfield, what are you expecting? Like United were never going to be the team who was going to dominate.
Tactically, they were very good. Tactically, they were very good. Yeah.
So I'm not concerned about like the possession game. It hardly matters right now. So
yeah.
So when the starting 11 came out, I mean, my first thoughts were Henderson starting at the centre back. It was a big surprise for me, personally. I thought it was going to be a difficult game because United were definitely stronger in the attack in the coming weeks. So I thought Henderson is going to have his hands full in the whole game. But do you think
he could have been exploited?
Yeah, but I guess the defense is something which is not a worry, which we've all been discussing throughout the season, that Liverpool might actually suffer a lot with Van Dijk's injury and the number of injuries they have had at the back of the line. But it's the attack which is now faltering at a very heavy rate. It's been 4 games with Salah has, I think, been misfiring and not scoring at all. Do you think there needs to be some change in tactically or for the attack where Salah, Mane, and Firmino needs to do something drastically different?
Yeah, I think the fatigue has started to set in a little bit. Diego Jota has been missed these past few games, and I think it's a misconception that we're lacking in defense. We've actually been pretty good in defense since the Van Dijk injury.
Yeah.
Before that, I think we conceded 11 or something in 4 games, and since then we've conceded only 10 in 13 games or something.
Yeah,
so,
but before that, I mean, we always used to think that Van Dijk was the one who was driving the back line. But now with his injury, we always thought that okay, this is going to be a big difference now because of the world class. Because of the world class player Van Dijk is. So I mean, we always thought that. But now let's switch our focus from Liverpool's defense to United's defense. I mean, what a top-notch defense it was today. What do you think of it, Kshitij? What was your thoughts?
A lot of last ditch tackles, a lot of like clearances. There were a few like nervy moments in the starting where Fred was giving the ball back to the first Liverpool player out of the box, and they had the opportunity to shoot. But once they settled down, I believe it took somewhere around 10 to 15 minutes for United to settle down. Once they did that, no matter how much possession Liverpool had throughout the game, like they were not able to find any clear-cut chances or any chances where they could actually carve the defense open. That's how good United's defense was today. Like Maguire, we have said a lot of weird things about Maguire, him not being a top-class defender, but today he was at his best. I was kind of shocked that Eric Bailly didn't start today, but we can understand why he didn't, because he has a tendency to make some sort of an mistakes in matches like this, because he tries to take the ball out of the defense, walk it out of the back line and then pass it out. So playing Victor Lindelof with Harry Maguire, which has been a preferred partnership for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, has been a good was a good selection today. Luke Shaw has a fantastic game. Like Mo Salah did not get a sniff outside him. Mane was trying to work Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but again, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, it's very difficult to get past him. So all in all, it was a very good defensive performance from Manchester United. Yeah.
So, Anshuman, what do you think? I mean, was Liverpool, United going into the game thinking about the daunting 67 unbeaten run which Liverpool has had over the years, something which played on their minds in the initial first half of the game? Because it definitely looked like they were not in the game to just go for the win. They were looking to just play it out and see if they can actually salvage a draw at that point.
I think it's natural to feel that kind of pressure when you're going into a game which has this kind of backhand ideologies matched with the game, like 67 unbeaten games. So it is a huge accomplishment. So it is natural to feel a certain type of tension, because Liverpool have the experience with big teams. They have performed in Champions League. They have performed in crucial time when they need to get the win. So United, I believe they were aware about the attacking prowess of Liverpool, but I don't think that United went into the game for the draw. I don't think so. I believe that they wanted a win from the game, and they expected their full backs and like Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw. What basically they did was to get ahead when Mane and Salah are in their own field. Like in the third half, when then they needed to push that ball, and that is why probably Pogba was installed in the right side, so that he can give the long balls and they can have a quick counter attack. Which probably in the last 15 minutes of the game, they were probably doing that, and I believe that they would get a goal. I personally believe that United would get the goal.
And the changes late in the game also reflected that. Cavani, Greenwood and all.
Right. So I won't say that I believe Ole probably started the game for the 45 minutes to have the team settle in with a 0-0 score, and then he probably pushed for the win by the end, and that is unfortunate because both of the defense were aware of the time, and they decided that Liverpool probably decided that it's better not to give them a goal rather than scoring a goal. It's fine to have a draw.
So you mentioned go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I think going the half, if United had gone into the second half with a goal or a two goal down, that would have put on a separate response from Manchester United. But since we were at 0-0 at halftime, we knew we were in the game. We knew we had the pace on the counter attack, and we in the second half, United came out of the traps a lot quicker. Like they created
and
a
they
lot
had
more
better chances in the second half.
Alisson made
probably because the first half was such a mellow affair performance that players were not exhausted that much. They played a well balanced game. So now every energy that was induced was in the later half of the game.
Yeah.
And I think that is where United had that, because in the end I would still say even in a draw, United came out as a more stronger side with a statement.
But if the game had went on for another 10 minutes, you can only see United scoring a goal in that game.
But if United would have been down in halftime, then I would say it would have been very difficult for United to come back.
Yeah.
But
it is all about the situations and the seconds that changes the game.
And you mentioned about the counter attack. So do you think Ole actually took a page from Jose's book and took to the bus and went for the counter attacking game? Yeah.
Not full.
That has always been his game against the bigger oppositions. That has always been his mindset.
So I mean, Ole has actually been. I mean, what I think he went into before the game. He said okay, let's take the game quarter hour of a game for the game. Let's say hold back for the first quarter, hold back for the second quarter, hold back for the third quarter. You're 60 minutes down, and I mean 60 minutes are up, and you realize, okay, there are 30 minutes left. Liverpool hasn't scored. We haven't scored either. Now let's start pushing, and maybe we can actually get the goal. That's when we started.
Probably by the 60-minute hour, he realized that I think Liverpool does not have that attacking prowess anymore, so we can try.
United have actually had more scores, more number of goals after the 60 minutes of the game played.
Yeah.
So that's the record.
I mean, some personal decisions by Rashford. I mean, it made me pissed. He had the absolute opportunity to give his team United. It is not an individual performance that needed to be shown, but probably he chose to do that.
I mean, even when Rashford was not at his best. Yeah, even when Rashford was not at his best, Bruno was definitely not at his best today.
Not at his best.
He had the two biggest chances of the game. I mean, kudos to Luke Shaw, because he complimented Rashford with a beautiful run at that point when Bruno actually Alisson actually saved the goal from with the strike.
Mentioning Alisson, I don't want to take anything away from Alisson. I think he proved why he is the best goalkeeper right now
in Premier League. In Premier League. Yeah. But I mean, going to the attack of United, Rishabh, what do you think? Luke Shaw had definitely complimented very well Rashford with that run, excellent run, and then when he saw the chance which was created by Pogba, I mean, you could see the defense at that point in the game. Like, Pogba had so much time to take that shot, yet he was not able to score. I mean, he could actually stand in the box for 5 minutes, still nobody would charge. I mean, he definitely had more than a split second to take that shot. So, do you think in the latter half of the game, United were the bigger team of the two?
You asked me the wrong question. I was going to say why did Oli play Luke Shaw? I was hoping he would have played Alex Telles in this game. But I also understand what the game was about. He was trying to, be a little more defensive, and Telles is a more attacking mindset player. So I get it why he played him. Coming to attacking, I think United were pretty good in terms of attacking the game. They had the better of the chances. Yeah, Pogba went for power rather than the placement. If he had won for placement, I think this was 1-0 and we would have probably won. I don't know. In the 15 minutes, anything could have happened, but I think we could have won. Even for Bruno's shot, he could have that shot. He could have played with a little bit with more power, and we could have again scored. But so those were the two differences we had, right? I think it was a good game. I think all of United fans should be happy with the result. We still are a point above. A point above Leicester.
2 points above Leicester.
2 points above Leicester, even though, City can still go top if they win their remaining 2 games. But all in all, it was a good performance. I think I really liked what United showed coming to Anfield, and that is what I was scared about. Just sitting back and just keeping out Liverpool. They did not do that, which was very good.
So I mean, United was last scored against Liverpool at Anfield in December 2018, and in the last 4 outings they have not scored. They've only scored 1 goal, which is the Lingard goal in December. So I mean, that statistics is definitely not changing. Going forward, I mean, there is a FA Cup coming up, FA Cup match coming up next weekend against the Liverpool and United. I mean, what do you think is going to happen? Siddharth, what do you think of that match? I mean, what will be the change tactically from Liverpool in that game particularly?
I think Liverpool will be motivated to get a result there even more now, but it'll be difficult because it's at Old Trafford. But yeah, I think we'll be happy with the draw there.
So I mean, going forward, I mean, this month is proving to be very pivotal for you guys, particularly because now you had the match against United where you were expected to win at home. Now you have a game coming up against Spurs on the 28th, which is another big game for you guys. What do you think of that match? Will that actually define the title challenge for you guys? I mean, all bets are off for now, I think, for the title challenges, because any team can actually come up and snatch the title at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, except maybe Leicester, who no one is thinking would win. I think
I guess
everyone
this is
convinced.
this is the only thing which I guess your counterpart Rishabh will agree on this, because he is not a Leicester fan. He
He's
definitely
not a Brendan Rodgers fan.
no. I think he's not a
He
Leicester fan
doesn't
at
care
all.
about Leicester. He's not a
No,
Brendan Rodgers fan.
he's not a Brendan fan and he's not a Leicester fan either. So I mean, both. This is the only thing I guess a Liverpool and a United fan will agree on.
But they keep proving me wrong every week. Like they keep nicking off games. So
Like,
I don't know what might happen.
Winning against Southampton is a big deal because Southampton is not a
and that performance, the performance that they showed against Southampton, that was a dominant performance. Like,
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I guess Madison is something proving to be a very differential player for them. But coming back to Liverpool, what do you think? I mean, you have the FA Cup match coming up, and then which could actually, if you lose, it could actually, you could potentially be out of two titles if you lose that and the Spurs game. So
yeah, it'll be demoralizing, but I think the main focus will be the league only for us. And the Spurs game I think is more important for us than the FA Cup game.
But going forward, I mean, you know that in February we have the Champions League coming back. I mean, how pivotal are these two games going to be to find the form and actually then maybe start even pushing for the Champions League? Because if you don't win, I think then even the Champions League position goes out of the question, and then you might actually not be in a position to fight for any of the titles in the coming few weeks.
Honestly speaking, I'm not really optimistic of the Champions League, because I thought, like, I was hoping we'll buy a centre back in Jan, but that's not the case. But so if we had that, maybe the Champions League was a proposition, but I'm not really optimistic about that. So I think the main thing for us will be the FA Cup if we qualify, if we progress, and the league.
So I mean,
I think you went too far, like asking about Champions League, which is a month from now.
Yeah.
So.
But it's all these big matches are going to be very pivotal for the form they'll carry into the Champions League, I guess. I mean, I know it's a month out. I mean, anything can happen in that month. But these matches are going to be very pivotal for Liverpool, I think, specifically. And
I think like most of the clubs won't like the clubs like City would take Champions League very seriously. I don't think Chelsea would put much effect into it. I don't think even
even the FA Cup, our old rivals.
we have a Chelsea question in the future. I mean, we have the Chelsea question coming up. We'll discuss all those things in the latter half.
The point is that these clubs, because the Premier League right now is so tight, if United, Liverpool drop like 4 points in the coming 2 weeks, right, 4 to 6 points, they can easily be out of the top 4. Yeah. That's how close league title is right now.
So what you are trying to say is that right now Liverpool and United, the teams who are like fighting for the title, they need to focus on the Premier League rather than Champions League. Is
the FA Cup, I'm assuming that it would be a lot more important to United because they haven't won a title. Ole hasn't won a title yet. So Liverpool might put a weak team, but United might do the same as well, because the main focus for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, especially now that we are top of the table, would be to maintain that in the Premier League.
The priorities have changed.
Yeah, the priorities have changed.
So I mean, we've been talking about United and Liverpool, and United coming off as a much happier team of the two. But I think it's the Guardiola who's going to have a smoke on his smoke on his face after this game, because he has 2 games in hand. So Rishabh, what do you think? I mean, you were saying that I don't know why people are making a big deal about City right now, and but they have slowly been racking up the victories here and then. And as we are speaking, they're squaring off against Crystal Palace. They start to square off against Crystal Palace. What do you think will be Guardiola's focus going forward now?
Yeah, we have our podcast still running for 30 minutes. Right? I'll come back to that question again if Crystal Palace are ahead. So. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. City destroyed Chelsea. They destroyed United, and people are like, "Oh, now this is the team to beat." Liverpool and City are the team who were going to, eventually challenge for the title. I still don't feel City are playing that great. The performance against Brighton was mediocre, to be best. To be honest, like it wasn't a very City-like performance. and we still know like they don't have a striker. They're playing still without a striker, and Chelsea game was a little kind of an anomaly. I still don't see them like scoring 5-6 goals with every game which we've seen scoring which we've seen them scoring for last couple of like maybe best part of 3 years at least. So City, I still need to see a little bit more from the attacking side. Defensive, we all know the partnership between Stones and Diaz.
But City have easier fixtures now.
Easier fixtures, but yeah, they still need to win, right? Like that one goal, Brighton could have actually scored that, and like the entire, they could have dropped 2 points, and the league table could have like just shifted what we see right now. So
yeah,
let's not talk about league titles. Like it's still very, very early to call the title. The league positions are so tight. I don't have, I don't know who's gonna win come May 23rd.
Really, so
City are still the favorites now.
So yeah, I guess City for Liverpool fans, I guess City is the favorite. But to wrap up the question, I made the prediction of a 0-0 draw. I'm the only one who got the prediction right. So I'm right, you're wrong, all of you. So that's all. That's the only thing matters in this question, I guess. Now
you're right because
just to go back on your the FA Cup question, I feel like Liverpool and United will both field stronger teams.
Strong teams, yeah.
Okay. Because I feel like United, what Kshitij said was about winning the title. So I think Ole would still go, even though we will win and we will go out in the semi-finals. That's fine. So. And Liverpool is just. I think they need to field a stronger 11 just to prepare themselves for the Spurs game on Thursday or Wednesday, whenever that is. So I feel like both of them will field a stronger.
So Rishabh, you mentioned actually that the final come May 23rd, you don't know who will win, but do you think actually the title will get wrapped up on May 23rd?
I think it has to. I think it has to. Like there is no. I think I can only see a week or maybe a couple of days after that. Like the league of across all of Europe has to wrap up by 23rd or 25th. You're expecting a player like let's say Harry Kane, right? You're expecting him to play on the 25th or the 26th of May, and then going back within the next three let's say a week also, and you never know. Europa League might just come into action as well. Like Europa Leagues, I think it's on the 29th of May, and the Champions League is just the week after that. So it might just come into all into play. You're expecting Harry Kane to play in all of those games, and then after a week the Euros start. And the Euros end on July 11th, and then the Premier League would start again in August. Like where is the rest? Where is the rest that's going to come
speaking about Harry Kane specifically, he has a tendency to get injured in the month of March, so we don't know if he'll be playing or not. But let's move back to the question. The number of games which are getting postponed right now. Aston Villa have already had 2 postponements, and we saw a midweek rescheduling for Fulham and Spurs, where Spurs game was again postponed at that point. And Fulham manager, he was definitely not the happier of the two, saying, 48 hours is definitely not enough notice to get a team prepared for the match. But they still, kudos to Fulham, they still were able to salvage a draw at that point. But so you've covered that point. Let's get somebody else's point of view. Anshuman, what do you think? Do you think actually the game weeks need to be wrapped up, and what kind of changes the Premier League management needs to make so that all the scheduling goes without a hiccup? Because we have the Champions League coming back into the play. You have the Europa Leagues also coming back into the play. The more games getting postponed, it's going to be a lot more injuries or muscle injuries for the players with fatigue. What do you think is going to happen now?
See, the thing is, nobody was ready for COVID-19.
Yeah.
So that is a factor that comes from external and pushes your entire plans and schedules, everything haywire. It goes haywire. So I cannot say that what it might change, because COVID is unexpected. It can come at any point of time. People get affected it still regularly. So I cannot say from that perspective. But what I can say is that right now Premier League is in a very tricky situation because now they have reached January. Euro is about to start. So what my suggestion was before 2-3 months ago was to scrap the international games, to let the players not go international, not travel that much, because I fear that this kind of situation might happen again. They might get affected and the games might be postponed. So now so the thing is, the way the fixtures have been scheduled and the way the dates have been finalized, it is very difficult to make up for the lost games. It is very difficult to get those fixtures back because the players don't have that much time. The leagues don't have that much time to go ahead because they will clash with the Euros, and if they reshift the Euros, it's gonna affect the Premier League again.
Yeah.
And not the Premier League, it's gonna affect every league because it's a Euro. So in that sense, I believe that what FA is doing is understandable because of the pandemic. These teams, a lot of teams have lost a lot of money.
Yeah.
So
and I mean, I remember the December 30th week, the match when Spurs was supposed to play that evening, and Mourinho actually posted a video on his Instagram handle saying, I don't know what is going to happen, and we are supposed to play a match at 6 p.m. and we still don't know if you're going to play.
Yeah, they were just chilling in the lobby. Yeah,
and he quoted, "This is the best league in the world." Do you, Siddesh, do you think this is the right criticism to be received by Premier League, by Mourinho or any manager for that sake? Because I mean, as Anshuman said, I mean, nobody was prepared for COVID, and I think Premier League is doing the best they can and scheduling at the best foot forward. Do you think they deserve the criticism which they are getting from the managers, like from the Fulham manager as well, and Mourinho at that point?
So let me start off by saying that Jose Mourinho is always, he gets mad at everything. Like that's his thing. Like getting mad at stupid thing, that's how he like goes about in his life. Coming to the Premier League, right? At this moment, it's very tough to like play a lot of games because we are used to playing games every week, right? The players are used to playing once a week or twice a week. We are now going 3 matches a week, and that is going relentlessly. So Jurgen Klopp said a very interesting thing, like a couple of interviews back, where he said that we used to have a very good August, September, October, a very tricky November and very hectic December. But it has been a very hectic November. It has been a very hectic December, and the number of games are not going to slow down anytime soon. So rescheduling in a very already jam-packed schedule is a very tricky thing to do. Having said that, Scott Parker was very angry for the fact that he had put out his first team in the FA Cup. If he had known that his match would have been rescheduled for this week, he would have picked a slightly weaker team, because for him, Premier League, survival is the most important thing right now for Fulham. So, the matching, the rescheduling and everything is fine. It's completely okay. We have to understand that because it's a very tricky position for the entire Premier League and the entire management for the Premier League. But having said that, the clubs need to be given a lot more time. They need to be given at least 3 to 4 days for their players to prepare, because not only they have to prepare, they have to do their cool downs as well. They have to recover from their previous matches as well. And they run like 7 to 8 kilometers in almost every game, which is like a toll on them. So this is something that Premier League needs to figure out a lot better.
But don't you think like the players are why are the players being paid so much money then? This is the reason, right?
No,
like they should be ready to play again. I'm not saying like they should play every 3 days.
Yeah.
But this is that asterisk season.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I believe the only solution for this realistic solution is to rotate the squad. I think you cannot do anything other than that.
Yeah.
It's out of your hands.
But when a club like
hold on. So the best thing is either you in the cup competition that I know, like a club like Fulham, they would want to go to the semifinals. They would love to go back. They would love to go to the finals, and they would have to have that dream run, right? But just because of this season, what will be their priority? To win an FA Cup or to survive in the Premier League? I would say obviously Scott Parker's decision would be to survive in the Premier League. So just make sure that in an FA, if you know that you have some games in hand, and it might come tomorrow that the Premier League might just announce that you might have a game midweek, right? Don't play in the FA Cup. Not play, but like field a weaker 11 in the FA Cup or any of the league competition. And I think that might just happen. That might still happen for every team.
When you talk about clubs like Fulham, it is important to understand that they cannot field a second fiddle team in a competition like FA Cup, because for them every match counts, and they have to.
Every club has an under 23, right? Every club has an under 23.
But they have to go for the win so that they could earn more prize money. I mean,
but that's the thing, Rohil. That's the thing. I'm trying to say is that I think this isn't that asterisk season, and people need to understand that. Yeah. Okay. It's the games are going to come thick and fast. If you ask a Chelsea fan, I'm not going to go into Chelsea question, but if you ask a Chelsea fan, what will be their priority, to win the FA Cup or to go into the top 4 right now at this point of time? And I think not even Chelsea. I think even if you ask me, I would say yes. I would say Premier League is my priority. I would not say go and win against Liverpool in the FA Cup. At this point of time, I see Liverpool, United at top. Why would I say that FA Cup is my priority? I would still like to go for the league title, right?
All right. Okay, so we go towards our last question now, and we're going to focus our podcast towards the Chelsea fan, me and Anshuman. Now we're going to be a little bit disappointed with the performance against Fulham, which we had. So I mean, let's dive right into it, Anshuman. What do you think? I mean, 69% possession, a halftime red card for Fulham. Anthony Robinson, I mean, it was a pathetic challenge. It was a reckless challenge for him.
Fulham did play very aggressive.
I mean, Robinson had a reckless challenge against Aspilicueta, and then they had the red card, which was rightly given. So, I mean, VAR also confirmed it. But going into the second half, we expected, okay, it's a 10-man, going against 10-man, we're going to definitely have a better half. We should be attacking more. I mean, Chelsea did pile on the pressure, but it was not anywhere close to a performance which we expect from a club like Chelsea. So what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, if you just look at the match stats, it is the match stats have been similar, like copy-pasted match stats from their loss at Everton, from their loss at Wolves, from their not at City, but then their win against FA Cup side. The stats have been very similar. So if we just go about the stats, it's very difficult to say what Chelsea is doing wrong. But if you look at the game, then you can say that right now, probably I feel like every player are below confident right now.
But what we've also seen is that, I mean, in every game, what they do is like they're playing the long balls, they're trying to put the balls in with the lob passes, or maybe get the crosses in, which is something which has been very evident. I mean, they've been doing that they do it on a repeat, and it's playing on a loop for Chelsea, right?
To be very honest, this is when Arsenal were playing like this, they were losing all the games, and I was the one who was criticizing why they are playing a long ball game. Why are they just focusing on putting down the crosses? And Chelsea right now are doing the same thing. So
Chelsea have been doing that from, I think, the first match itself. I mean, we've already discussed that they have the most number of goals in headers.
But how many times are you going to do that? Because other teams will read it.
Exactly.
Thing is, Lampard, what he's doing right now, when we were even winning, I had hopes at that point of time when we had 8 clean sheets with us and we were winning the games. And I thought that probably Lampard might be doing something different with every game, which is making the opponents not able to read us. But now I realize that Lampard has been doing that for the last 14 games right now. And I think that needs to change. First of all, the entire tactic needs to change. I know the players are not performing. I know the strikers are not clicking, or we have a weak midfield. But sometimes, just to change the entire shape of the team, probably do something different, might bring something different, because we are not scoring anyways if we are playing in the same way. So it is called a hit and trial method. I believe this is the right time for Lampard to start that. Having said that, I still believe, I will still stand that Werner needs to start. I will still believe Werner needs to start, and if he does not get the chances, then how would, because if he does not get the chances, if you bring him in the later half of the team where there's an entire pressure of scoring, right now the kind of lack of confidence he's in, I don't believe putting an extra pressure on him would do him any good. So I think
as a number 9 or in a wide position.
No, I don't see him as a wide player, because he has not given any input from there. But I have seen him play as a number 9 in RB Leipzig, and the way he has played as a number 9, I always think, because right now the Premier League is more pace. It's about pace. The players are pacey right now. So I believe Werner has that capability of getting behind the backline and just drifting through the players, drifting through the lower league teams who have a very weak marking defenders. So if Werner is not given the chance in that position, I don't think we'll ever be able to bring that attacking prowess from Werner. And I think it is a high time for Lampard to just, because we are not winning games. We are not winning games. So why not give him a chance? Why not try that? Just what Arteta did.
Yeah, so I mean, I know that, okay, when you start talking about Werner, there's one of the panelists who's never in favor of the support which he gets, Rishabh. I mean, we saw him score against Morecambe. I mean, it was definitely not a strong team, but we thought that, okay, this is going to be a deadlock is broken for him. So maybe he would take that confidence and maybe see that, okay, he can actually put the ball behind the net again. So, but again, he didn't start against Fulham, so I guess I don't know how much criticism we can give to him in this match, but specifically. Right. But what do you think? I mean, the curse of number 9 for Chelsea is still over there.
Yes, it's still there. It's still there. Since we have lost Drogba, we haven't yet found a number 9 that is like synonymous with our team. Like, we had Costa, but then his mentality, his tactics, as well as his issues with Conte, made him leave Chelsea in the next 2 years. And then after that, we got Morata, we had Fernando Torres. We were never able to get that number 9 position. Because I think the way Chelsea is formed, I believe our wingers have always been that influential players to give that striker freedom to score goals. We had Hazard, which made Costa score a lot of goals. Right? We had, even when we were not performing well, we had Pedro and Willian on that position. I believe what certain criticism that I can give to Chelsea right now was that Pulisic did not play well. And I think he has been given a chance. I think his injury is affecting him or not. But before, I used to say that he was not getting a chance in the left side. Now Lampard is giving him the chances on the left side field. And still, I see a very lackluster performance from him. I don't know if it is the entire atmosphere of the locker room who is very demotivated right now. But when you know that these players have performed and you have seen them perform, and when they don't perform, I don't know. I believe that is a huge misstep from Lampard's managerial positions and from the players' morale, and why they are not performing and why they should. Because we have seen them perform. And they're not doing it. Probably.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Anshuman Das FPP rant of the week for Chelsea.
Yeah, and I guess we have received a new hashtag for that, Anshurant. That's a new rant tag for us. Whenever we're going to talk about Chelsea, that's going to be the Anshurant from now on. I don't know what else is left for you guys to add. I mean, Siddharth, would you like to add anything to that? I mean, that was a very in-depth analysis as usual. So do you have anything?
One thing that comes to mind is Tammy Abraham did so well last season. I think last season he did really well, and he could have gone from there on, but didn't happen somehow.
So I mean, just to add. So thank you, Anshuman, for
Three strikers, and we don't have the capability to finish.
So that is the entire problem that I have had with your signings for the better part of since Timo Werner came. He's a very good striker. I have never denied that. It's just that it's going to take time for him to settle. And the other thing for me is that why was he brought when they had Giroud, they had Abraham, and what Siddharth said, Abraham already did do very well for Chelsea last season.
Exactly.
There was no reason to buy Timo Werner and
see that is. I don't agree with that. I don't agree that it was not necessary to buy a striker.
Okay, fine. Yeah, of course. But to be very honest, you didn't need him. You did not need him, right? Did you need him? I'm asking you a question.
Yes, we did. I'm still saying.
How has he helped you? How has he helped you until now?
The thing is, he hasn't helped us, but that does not change the fact that we needed a striker. See, I'll tell you. Do you really believe Tammy Abraham, who had 1 year of Premier League experience, having put the pressure of an entire Chelsea team of that particular stature and led the Chelsea team to a title?
That is your guys' problem. You do not. You always need big name signings in your team, and you never trust your youngsters. You trusted it for 1 year, and look what happened.
I'll tell you. See, how many appearances have Tammy Abraham had this season? Probably
you don't give him the chances. That's the thing.
No, right? I'm saying that he has the appearances. He has been playing in the Chelsea. It is not like we signed Werner and Tammy Abraham was gone just like that. We did not do that.
But Tammy has still been performing much better than Werner at this point.
Werner, exactly.
Yeah, that I agree. That I completely agree. But the thing is, there are games where Tammy Abraham, if we talk about City, then at that game, Tammy, and also Everton, if we talk about, then those two games, Tammy Abraham missed 2 chances, 2 headers. His first touch was atrocious. So now what can a person do if we gave a chance to a striker, he's not performing. We gave a chance to Giroud, he started scoring goals. Now we depend on him. Now he does not perform anymore. You cannot have Giroud in a 34 of your age to give us that win. And now when we come back to Werner, all the traits and all the skills that I've talked about before, I think I would still believe that he is a player that can beat the Premier League defense more efficiently over Tammy Abraham and Giroud right now. So I don't see the signing as a very wrong thing. I completely agree that Werner needs to be given time.
Okay,
and
I mean
that I've been always saying since the day he came.
If you know, people were talking about now Chelsea is a title challenger when we were winning 8 games in a row, and I used to say no, we are still not there.
Yeah,
we're still not there. We need time. This is just a flash in a pan. What is happening right now?
I think I know only one person who said that, and that is you. Because every other person was even the renowned pundits.
I remember even I talked to you about it and you said, I think Chelsea are form now.
Yeah, I know. Like every renowned pundit was saying, Chelsea is the, at least if they're not going to win the title, at least they're going to challenge for the title. But, like at that, I'm not going to take away from you. You said it like, they're not ready yet. Which is correct.
I think our discussion is revolving around Werner right now, but I guess the big name thing is also about Kai Havertz as well. I mean, he was signed just on the name of the reputation. Lampard, I do not believe, had a plan on where he wanted to play him. That is something which has been very evident from the start itself, because Havertz has not played. I mean, obviously there has been we've been saying a lot about the COVID thing which had happened to him, and his physical stamina has definitely taken a hit because of that. But Havertz is not the signing which is something is expected where Lampard does not have a plan where he wants to play him. That's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So we don't know what exactly.
I think Frank is definitely going to be under pressure. If he and you look at the games that are coming up, if he does not win the next 3 games, the 4 games that he has, if he does not get at least 9 points out of them, he's going to be in immense pressure. And I think even before the Atletico game, he might be also sacked. It might come to that. Because I know Abramovich is not
See,
a very,
I know
exactly.
we have the history with that.
Yeah, Abramovich is not that patient guy. He's not a very patient guy.
And I
He's
think
like,
we talked about it last time as well. Lampard, he's still been getting that chances. If it would have been any other manager who does not have any association with Chelsea, I think he would have been sacked by December. The performances, because managers have been sacked for lesser performances like this.
So let me ask you this: like,
I think the only reason he's still in this job is because of the league table. Like everyone knows,
that's what I was going to say.
If Chelsea come into a form where they can just rack some 5 wins out of 6, they're again back into the title race.
Yeah.
Technically speaking, also this is the time where we struggle, and then by February, March, we build our momentum back.
So let's wrap up this point, and I mean let's see what Lampard's reign is going to be in the next 2 matches when they square off against Leicester and Wolves. So let's see what we wait and what happens. I would like to thank Siddharth for joining us and giving your valuable opinions on Liverpool and Chelsea as well. So we really enjoyed your point of views on that.
After 2-3 episodes, we are finally back with a Liverpool fan.
Yeah. So I mean,
it was a good thing to see.
So do let us know what you thought of the match, of the Premier League, of the United game, and let us know what you think about Chelsea's Lampard's reign in the future. What is going to be defining at that point? Please do remember to like, share, and subscribe to our videos, and do remember to subscribe and click on the bell icon. Thank you.